Alright, I'm back. I'm nervous again. Well, it's Tuesday, 5:10 p.m. Got off of work 2 hours ago. Um, yeah, it's a new day, so new topics, blah 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 blah. I didn't write anything down like I said I was going to, but I'm gonna wing it off the dome. Anyways, um, yeah. So if you were here yesterday, thanks for coming back today. Sorry. It's fine if I'm mostly talking to myself for the first 27 um, days or whatever, but we're back. I'm back, and I want to continue on what I was speaking about yesterday. Um, thinking about it now, I don't know if it'd be a super big topic to talk about, but I'm still gonna bring it up. Um, it was a continuation of my um, I guess career paths that I could have or would have taken if my natural, I guess, personality of giving up easy and impatientness is wasn't a thing that I would do it. So, so as as whoever knows, nobody's here yet. Um, I went on a road trip, and they said road trip took me to Florida. Um, I went to Universal, very fun time. But what I wanted to touch on today was that I wanted to be an engineer, um, because of the fact that I love amusement parks so much. And something about those things bring a lot of, I guess, joy in thinking about like a park. I don't know. Um, I've always thought it was cool how these big old like park giants like Universal and Disney started off. And for some reason, you know, being me, I was like, let's fucking do that. Well, obviously, on a smaller scale, my family's been part of a well, I wouldn't say part. Oh, I guess yeah. So we've contributed to a festival that happens every year in the fall, a fall festival, if you will. And being there every day really made me want to be something. Well, not made me want to be something, but made me want to make something for people, if that makes sense. Um, Obviously, this pumpkin patch fall festival thing is a little more attainable than making a full-fledged amusement park like Disney or Universal, but yeah, I've always had a thing for that. I was saying yesterday that other than my trip, that something else made me want to start this, and that was that. I was originally thinking about um buying um like engineering sketchbook. I don't know what they're called, but basically, I would, you know, try to have some fun, just BSing everything, making my own amusement park. Maybe I'll still do it, but that was the original idea for me doing this. But yeah, that was one of my deciding factors on creating this very originally named channel. My name is Josh, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but there you go. Um, yeah, very original channel name if you seen that already. But yeah, that was one of my I guess motivations per se, was to mock up a amusement park and just have fun with them concepts and whatever. Obviously, I'm not rich. I'm not gonna go out and open an amusement park, but yeah. So that was one of my other career paths, and if you know me, I've had a lot and a lot of career paths that I wanted to take. Um, None of them really ever had a lingering place in my head other than um, an engineer and an astrophysicist. So yeah, but that is that. Today, like I said, it's Tuesday, and I didn't write anything down. I should do that next time. One of my interests, I guess. Um, soon enough. Um, I plan on going to Japan. Um, I'm not like a fucking super mega weeb. Obviously, I've watched a lot of media, and by media I mean anime. But I'm not an avid anime watcher. But that is obviously one of the reasons that I want to go to Japan. Um, Not solely for like anime itself, but how they explain the culture over there. Um, I've always been fascinated by the language itself and how complex it is. Um, I always do that to myself. I always interest myself in super complex things, and I never seem to fall through with anything. Um, because again, I am not one for patience. Something that stuck with me was the fucking prices to go there, and I live in Chicago, so the price to go there is an incredible amount. Um, I make enough money to thankfully afford things, but come on, dude. I I cannot justify that big of a purchase for like a week's max of activities, you know. And with my job, I think that is the maximum a week. If I'm gonna pay upwards of 1,700, not that's not even including my lady, like 3-4 grand. I'm gonna have to be there for about 2 weeks. So hopefully one day, I do have some things planned that I will not speak on here or anywhere else, but that will hopefully get me there. Um, mm, Candy. Sorry. Yeah. Hopefully that'll get me there sooner, sooner than I expect. Hopefully, but all comes with time, and I'm not very patient. But yeah. So, anyways, yeah. I'm not a weeb, but Japan really interests me, and other places too. Like I said, I went on a trip, and that really opened my eyes to. I had this whole like eye-opening, like a very I don't know how to explain it, but that is the best that I can say or explain this as an eye-opener, and it makes you realize that you are so much smaller than you think. I drove this trip, and I got there, and I was staring at the ocean like, fuck. Holy shit, dude! I am not any. I'm not anything of significance in this world. Rather, I am significant in my own. If that makes sense. This world is so much bigger than I realized, and yeah, that's the best I can say. That I don't matter. Obviously, I'm not trying to be like I'm not I'm not trying to send out messages, but I don't matter in the sense that I'm only like a speck of dust in this world, and yeah, I'm only as big as I am in my own world. So travel more, guys. It's worth it when you're out there. You're thinking, oh, I don't want to travel because of work, or work isn't gonna let me. Fuck those guys. I'm not saying quit your job, but make time. Um, if if your job doesn't value your own time, then I think it's time that you value it for yourself and do something about it. So go out there, explore, look at things how I'm not gonna get religious, but look at things how Mother Nature would want you to see them. So yeah, one thing I do not that I mean, one thing that I do regret not doing is taking my beautiful dog. I I neglected her and I left her with my parents here. And she's under my desk right now, but I wish I could have taken her to see the ocean. Maybe next year I will. We're gonna go down there again. I'm gonna make the trek again next year with my family this time, but hopefully I'll bring her along and she can see the ocean. She can run along the tides and stuff, right? Right, Canella. Her name is Canella, by the way. I'll pull up a picture of her on the screen right now. Anyways, so like I was saying, um, yeah, Japan. I grew up here in the beautiful state of Illinois, and I say that very sarcastically because although it is very beautiful in the summer, it is very, very ugly in the winter. Um, which is why I want to move to Florida. And that's not because of just this one trip. I've always wanted to move to Florida, but um, staying away from religious and political views, I have quite a few of those, and I wouldn't move to Florida. But um, yeah, the winter's super ugly here, and I don't blame anyone for leaving this place. One of my coworkers' sons actually moved away from here to Colorado, and every time he goes on there, I'm like, wow, like I don't blame that guy not one bit because this place is far from pretty and far from fun. I mean, we have Chicago, but I've lived here so long. I mean, it just there really isn't anything to do here or see. You have a bunch of suburbs and a bunch of nothingness after that. So big, beautiful Illinois. Um, grew up in a family of six, but I'd say eight because my family also consists of some uncles. Well, and my niece now. Let's make that nine. Um, well, minus one. One of them is gone, not deceased, but gone out of our house. Soon it will be seven. Um, because my other uncle is actually skedaddling as well. So I am the second oldest in a family of six: my mother, father, and my three sisters. Like I said, I got my uncle here, my niece. So yeah, I speak a very fluent Spanish. My dog is grabbing all of my sandals. Thank you for moving them. I speak very fluent Spanish. Um, I'm not gonna talk Spanish because that is not what I'm here for. So, um, yeah, English, Spanish. You can probably guess what I am. But sorry, I'm reading off of these topics and they're pretty icebreaker topics. So I should have probably done these yesterday for the first um video, but here we are. Hey, give me that, please. She has a bottle in her mouth. Wait. Anyways, um, important life experiences. I've got a few of those, but I prefer to keep those internalized and never exposed to anybody that isn't my lady or my best friend. So we're gonna keep that way. I don't really. Sorry, I'm eating candy. I wouldn't say I belong to any communities. Just because I'm pretty. I don't know, self-kept, or I don't know. I'm not introverted. I'm very, I'd say, extroverted, but I don't belong to any communities. I'm not very involved with the community, so. Oh, yesterday I was talking about whether I was very outgoing or not. Today I told, because I said yesterday that I would look out for that, whether I was or wasn't, and I think I am. I just think it takes a certain type of person to bring that out of me. I like to joke around a lot. Very vul, very. I'm very vulgar when it comes to joking around. I'm very sarcastic. And some people just, obviously, no, I'm not gonna get on people and cry about it. Everybody has humor is subjective. So, I have a very specific humor. Well, I wouldn't say specific. I'm just very, like I said, sarcastic and vulgar. So, if you're not either of those things, I don't think we're gonna have a very um, pleasant experience being around each other. Um, it's something that's been a part of me, and it's definitely something that I need to work on because um, a lot of people can vouch for this and say that I come up as a bit of a butthole. So try not to. Like I said, I'm just very sarcastic and I like to joke around. I don't like to have I don't like being serious, and I don't like having serious conversations, which is again, it's another flaw. But um, I can't. I fall under pressure when it's very serious conversations. I make jokes, which sometimes I just shouldn't, but I can't. I really can't. So yeah, that's that question answered from yesterday. I am very extroverted. Um, on my own terms sometimes because, like I said, sometimes just can't. I can't handle it. I'm gonna crack a joke, and if you don't like it, I'm sorry, but yeah. Um, I'm reading. Like I said, I'm reading these super icebreaker questions, and they are something. But okay. So strengths. People notice in me. I don't know. I don't know what people notice in me in terms of strengths. Um, I'm super self-dependent, which any adult probably is, but I think I am more than most. Um, just because I have a lot of pride. Um, I don't like. How do I say this without sounding like a fucking brat? This is something that I talked about on my me and my buddy's channel. And that's that I don't like being uh being asked to do things, or yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty simple, right? I don't like being told what to do. I know that sounds super edgy skateboarder type of thing, but um it's not because I'm like an outlaw or something, or I'm some sort of a thug, but I just I feel like I've noticed, you know, these past years that people nag me a lot. Um, a lot of people. Um, and I feel like those people nagging me made me realize how much other people can nag me, and maybe I shouldn't say nag, but just ask me to do things. I guess to put it more simply, um, I don't like being demanded of things. Like, think of it this way, like like being told to do something that you would have done otherwise is it's just it's a headache, and I feel like I've noticed that um, a lot of people have done that to me. Obviously, not on purpose, but I don't know if it has to do with something with my personality or how impatient I am, but being demanded to do stuff, it kills me, man. It kills me. And I can't lie and say that it affects a lot of things in my life. I have an example. Um, I have a beautiful dog. Obviously, she's being a rat right now, trying to grab everything. But um, I guess in a way, my way of thinking is that if you tell me to do something, how I was explaining right now, like demanding, I'm not gonna do it, obviously, because I don't like that. So I kind of unknowingly make a time limit in my head of when I'll consider it again. And then when that time's up, then I'll do it. Because it's kind of like I'm subconsciously holding, or not holding a grudge. I'm subconsciously being petty, which obviously is very bad. But like I was saying, I have a very beautiful dog, and she makes very, very big, beautiful mounds of poop. Um, and my mother, God bless my mother, but she likes to she's a very demanding woman, and obviously that's fine. I'm not gonna sit here and act like my mother isn't the best, because she is. Um, but she's a very demanding woman, so she demands for me to clean the yard, obviously, as a responsible dog owner would. But like I said, this is a very simple explanation of how I feel. You know, mm. I was eating candy. Um, like she'll demand me. The clock turns on, then I'll consider it. But then for some reason, before the clock is even over, I'm demanded again, and then the cycle continues, and then I won't do said thing. Um, and that's not like I'm not trying to be petty, but it's something that goes on in my head that I can't get over because getting nagged is just I just can't do it. For the life of me, I cannot, and I apologize to everyone and anything that I have ever neglected or not completed because of this trait of mine. But I just can't. Um, I feel like people should live the way they want, um, responsibly and healthy. Obviously, don't go out and kill people and be a criminal and eat a lot of things that you shouldn't be eating or consuming things. But everybody should live the way they want, and being demanded of things just shouldn't be in the picture. Is all I'm saying. Um, I'm a true believer that if you have enough time to yell at somebody to do something, you have enough time to do it yourself. Amen. But um, yeah, no. Um, that's just something that I know I should work on, but I think I also like that about me because it makes me want to do things on my own terms. It also makes me independent. Um, it makes me an asshole, but it also makes me independent in the sense that I'm not gonna go do whatever you want. I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna do it my way. Miles Morales. um, you know, or I don't care that you have a better rug than mine. I don't care for your rug. I'm gonna go do mine. I'm gonna go buy my own rug. Um, I don't care that this is better than this because of that, you know, or I'm not gonna go do this because you think it should be better, you know, or I'm not gonna go do this because you think I would have improved my life, and etc. Makes me independent. It makes me who I am. I don't like to follow a standard um, at all. And if you know me personally, um, you would agree with that because I'm just me, and I'm not gonna change that for anybody. So yeah, talk like a fucking I talk like I talk like I'm talking out of my ass all the time, and I say a lot of words that I shouldn't. You know, a lot of vulgar things, a lot of mean things, but it's all in good spirits. I'm not actually an asshole. Um, I believe that everybody should be happy. You know, even if that's poking fun at things and being a not so nice person. Obviously, do that on your own time. If you really don't have anything good to say to other people, keep it to yourself. But honesty is always the best policy, and I'm always gonna stand by that as well. Um, yeah. I'm gonna put what I'm eating on the screen right now because this is fucking awesome. Um, yeah. Be honest to your friends, to your peers. Don't lie to them. If their fit's trash, their fit's trash. Tell them. Don't let them walk around like a fool. You know, friends doing shit he's not supposed to be doing, then you know it. Tell them. Be a piece of shit. I know a lot of a lot of what I said is very contradictory, but once you get to know more about little old me, oh, hope you guys didn't hear that. Once you get to know a little more about little old me, you'll understand that it makes sense to me, and maybe it'll make sense to you. So, I know in the last video, I said that I would try and put stuff on the screen. And I did draw some stuff. I'll put it on the screen. Um, but I was kind of deciding. I kind of decided that I would record. For some reason recently I just stopped recording and taking photos of stuff. I went to this trip and I have like a million photos of my lady, you know, and none of the actual trip or the Well, I have some, and I put them on the screen last video, but um videos, and it's literally only because I went out. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken anything. Um, but I will make it my mission to record more and have it in the background and have it like slow motioned and blurred kind of aesthetic. But um, I'll put up photos and random stuff while I'm talking, and then I'll pull up uh some of the stuff that I drew. I'm s- I'm I'm going through it right now. I'm probably gonna draw more while I'm watching this back and editing it again. But we have a plan. I have a plan. So that will probably be for this video. I'm gonna go out with my lady. Speaking of my lady, she just called me and I didn't answer. So she called me at a great time because I'm at almost 40 minutes. Um, so I'm gonna go hang out with her, maybe, hopefully, and I'll go out, record some stuff, and put it on here so you guys can watch. Not watch my OBS volume slider thing go up and down. So, anyways, thank you guys for listening to me again. If you even did it last time, if you're back, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. Welcome to the party. Alright.